The in-season tournament ended this past weekend, and I'm going to go ahead and take my victory lap because I fucking told y'all it was going to be awesome. All I kept hearing was the players aren't going to care. Why should we as fans care? It's confusing. The courts are ugly. And you know what happened? The tournament was great. The players cared a lot. It was high quality basketball. And all in all, it was a very entertaining weekend. What more can you ask for from November, December basketball for you to care this much in the middle of football season? This is heat of playoff race football. And we're sitting here talking about basketball, an in-season tournament that just started in its first year. Obviously, the Los Angeles Lakers won it all. And immediately we already knew where the critiques were going to go. The LeBron haters are, y'all just boring at this point. You didn't even have the common decency to remix your Mickey Mouse ring, bubble ring take for the in-season tournament ring. You just ran it back. Oh, well, this one doesn't count as a championship either. No one said it did. No one said it did. We just said, hey, Bron won the in-season championship. Except for the Twitter accounts that decided to troll y'all because you're so fucking easy and just say, hey, LeBron won the in-season championship. Jordan did it. And stupidly, y'all fell for it instead of just going, you know what? Clearly, this is a troll job. Clearly, this is engagement farming because, of course, Jordan didn't win a tournament that just started 6 months ago. Anyways, back to the actual tournament. I have run out of adjectives to define LeBron James and to describe what we're seeing. Okay, LeBron's been in the league since 2003. I've been watching him my entire life. It's hard to keep coming up with new terms to describe the greatness that we are watching this late into his career. I'll leave that to the Nick Wrights of the world and the other Bronsexuals who will find their way to describe what we're seeing. But we're talking about a man that's damn near 40. And for every tournament game, he was the best player on the floor, except for the last one. And we'll get there in a second. He won tournament MVP, averaging 26 points, 8 rebounds a game, 7 assists a game on 57% shooting from the field and 60% from three. What? What? Huh? That's so insane. And the crazy thing is, those are numbers that don't even tell the full story for real, because if you watch the games, it felt worse. Like somehow actually watching the games, it felt like he was doing the team significantly dirtier than what the numbers actually bear out to be. And then Anthony Davis in the final game of the year, he should be obligated to write a handwritten apology to Miles Turner and Miles Turner's mother for what he did to that man. Because dear God, on national TV, 41-20 in front of the world? Oh, come on, Anthony, you ain't had to do that to him. 41-20, 4 block shots, most dominant player on the floor. And all the Anthony Davis stands and Lakers fans came out the woodwork and said, see, all y'all talking down on Anthony Davis. See, we told y'all he can do it. See, and I've never seen a group of people significantly miss the point more than y'all. Guys, we know he can do it. That's our entire point. That's our whole point. So when he comes out next week and gives y'all 13-7 and with only 1 block shot, this is why we're going to be upset, because we know he can do this. That's why we're mad. It has nothing to do with him not being able to do it. If we didn't think Anthony Davis was capable of putting up these type of numbers, we'd leave him the fuck alone. Miles Turner ain't putting up numbers like this. You don't see him getting critiqued. And it has nothing to do with him being on the Pacers and lack of getting media attention. Because as you saw, our guy Tyrese Halliburton made himself a star over the tournament. And I think that's the biggest win for the NBA over the course of this entire tournament. It has been talked about ad nauseum how the NBA is looking for the next great American star in the post-LeBron, KD, Steph era. For a time, they really wanted it to be Zion. More on him later. John Morant was that same class. As much as I hope he turns whatever he got going on around and he can focus on getting on the court. Actually, I think he's supposed to be back on the floor pretty soon, actually. Hold on. John Morant comes back December 19th. So the day I'm recording this next week will be the day Ja comes back. So hopefully I'll be able to wait till after the game's over to actually give y'all a synopsis of what I saw. Hopefully. But anyways, back to my actual point. The NBA has basically been playing hot potato for the next American star for years now. They've been trying with Tatum, and I'm a Celtics fan. I love Tatum. He's my favorite player, but this pains me to say it, but it must be says. For someone who looks up to Kobe, he damn sure doesn't display his Mamba mentality the way he thinks he does. It just seems like he's okay with being like the 5th or 6th best player in the league. Like nothing about the way Jason Tatum plays basketball says I am dying to be the best player in the world and I will stop at nothing to be the best in the world and the best all time. Because that's what the Kobe Mamba mentality actually was. And on top of that, he just became the NBA Twitter punching bag. Like every time another superstar pops up, he's become the he does this better than Jason Tatum, blah, blah, blah guy, which is weird to me because every chance y'all get, y'all tell me Jason Tatum's not a superstar. Yet every time a new guy comes up that hasn't accomplished half of what he has, y'all call them stars and compare him to him, but I digress. Anthony Edwards has the personality to be the biggest star in the world, and obviously he has the game for it. He was the best player on Team USA this past year, and I know LeBron's assembling the USA Basketball Avengers to go compete in Paris next year, but I hope Anthony Edwards still on that team and plays a prominent role. Like, it's time for the new generation to step up. So Anthony Edwards was the leading candidate for top USA star until Tyrese Halliburton this past tournament decided to look like Steve Nash with a higher shooting tendency, and oh boy, gave y'all boys a cool 26.7, 13 assists on 52% shooting and had a couple games with 0 turnovers. As the man who makes all the decisions on the Pacers team, Tyrese Halliburton doesn't turn the ball over like that. It's crazy to watch. Hell, he did it to my Celtics. And as mad as I wanted to be after watching another unserious Celtics performance, but 1, I'm used to it by now, and 2, I had to admire it because that third quarter, watching Tyrese Halliburton at the tender age of 23, take over the game, turn the game on its head, give his team control of the driver's seat, and he won the game in that quarter for his team. He had the momentum from that point on and they won. So right now he is the #1 leading candidate for American Star. And honestly, that alone was worth the in-season tournament happening if you're Adam Silver. Because this is where I'm going to sound like an asshole, and I promise I don't want to be. The face of the NBA can never be a foreign player. It's not because I'm xenophobic or racist. It's because y'all are. America barely tolerates American black players getting promoted unless they're the model minority. Think I'm crazy? Look at how Patrick Mahomes has been covered the past 24 to 48 hours after his little meltdown on the sideline. You think they're gonna let a foreign black person be the face of an entire league? Come on now. Again, this is not an indictment on Adam Silver or me or the NBA. It is an indictment on the American zeitgeist. Plus, none of the foreign players seem to want the spotlight. Like Jokic tells us religiously that all he cares about is horses. Giannis just wants to dunk on people and make dad jokes. Luka is here for buckets and strictly buckets. So I say all that to say, the NBA is dying for an American star, which is why it seems like we do the hot potato between every single time one of these young American players get the ball and be like, oh, is it him? 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 And the flip side to that is when one of these young American stars are disappointing to us, we rain hellfire down on them the way we are doing to Zion Williamson right now. Watching Zion Williamson on national TV get absolutely destroyed. Him and the Pelicans, it wasn't just him, whole team getting absolutely destroyed by the Lakers in that in-season tournament was jarring for the entire world to see. Because after Zion's rookie year where he played like 4 games or something, and the Pelicans had all those national TV games, the league made a decision, okay, we're not doing that again. So we haven't seen the Pelicans on national TV in quite some time. So it was the first time a lot of the NBA world really got to watch Zion again. And I know we've been making the weight jokes for a while, but it was jarring to see. And as y'all can see, I'm quite hefty myself, so I'm gonna keep my jokes to a minimum. But the real bummer of it is we expected so much from Zion. Remember when he was coming out of Duke, he was supposed to be the next chosen one. This was supposed to be the best prospect since LeBron and can't miss prospect and more athletic Charles Barkley. And I know he got drafted a little while ago, but I know y'all remember this. And now here we are, year 4 or 5 in his career. This is the first time he's been consistently healthy to start a season. Right now, he's giving us 22 a game on 57% shooting, which for a regular dude will be great. But for the best prospect since LeBron James, it isn't. And that's the point that I want us to really focus on with Zion. The weight thing, it is what it is. Either he gets that together or he doesn't. The fact of the matter is, if he doesn't get his weight under control, he's going to keep getting hurt. Because if he keeps jumping and torquing and moving his body the way he does at that size, he's going to keep getting lower leg injuries because your body's not built to withstand that much force at that weight. That just is what it is. But the reason that it seems like we're holding Zion to this high standard, again, is because of what the expectations were. And the fact that thus far he has failed so miserably. Now, this isn't a Kwame Brown situation where he's out there slumming it, but oh, by the way, before I get off of Zion, last week I spoke about Malik Andrews and Stephen A. Smith and how since they're journalists, they have to cover things a different way, specifically talking about Josh Giddey, which we've got no updates on that, so we're going to put that on pause for now. We were making fat jokes about Zion all weekend long, and everyone was going, ha ha ha, hardy har har. Stephen A. goes on First Take on Monday, didn't even make a fat joke for real. Told a story that he was told from chefs in New Orleans on TV on First Take. It is national news now because he repeated a story of the same things we've been saying all weekend long. So hopefully now y'all see the difference of what I mean when I say having a platform like ESPN is different from being someone on the internet like me. To close the NBA segment, I wish the best for Zion. I hope he gets it together as a fan, first and foremost, because I saw what the best of Zion looked like at Duke, and I want to see that in the NBA. That shit looked fun, and I think we should all want to see it. I hope the next American star ends up being Jason Tatum, obviously, because I'm a Celtics fan, and I hope it clicks for him one day like, hey, you want to be Kobe so bad? Kobe would have been killing all these other dudes they're comparing you to. Love seeing Halliburton step up in the world. Happy he got that national TV shine, because let's face it, most of y'all are not watching Pacers games. And shout out to the Lakers for winning the in-season tournament, winning the first one. That goes down to history.